Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over the breakdown of today's trades resulting in 14.5k just trading on my Lucid accounts and my TopStep accounts. I do not have my Apex, MFF and Tradeify accounts hooked up, as this week has been super brutal in the markets, and early on I just cut them off from trading and decided to just trade these two, which also means that I have been risking a little bit more on these two, but I'm comfortable now as I've taken I think I've taken about 4 payouts now on these accounts, on these new sets of TopStep and new sets of Lucid accounts. So yeah, let's get into the trade. First trade coming into New York session. Trade was taken 10.20. We had, by the way, the market's just been pushing down the entire week. So we have 9.30, we have a push down, right? We came back up into this fair value gap, strong rejection, down lower again, close below lower, and we made our way back up into the next fair value gap. Now, trading the second fair value gap can be a bit tricky, as price might have already met its targets lower and then want to retrace higher and then make a new New York session high. But as price has just been going lower and shooting lower, I was expecting lower prices of the 400s today coming into Friday session. I expected the week to end very bearish and to end off in the monthly FVG, which we get into later on. But anyway, we've come into the second fair value gap, and now we're looking for reasons or confluences to short this. We can't just take a short because it's in the fair value gap and then aim for the new low. We can't just do that. We need confluences, and so you have to watch price. And I've seen this candle come up into the fair value gap, and I'm also watching ES. Next candle opens up 10.20. We have SMT on ES. ES goes higher here, as you see on a 10.20 candle. ES went higher here. And Nasdaq here did not push off higher, rejected that, came back lower. Wrong chart. Nasdaq came lower, so now dropping down into the 1 minute. We're looking for a break of structure to signify that we are back to being bearish. So what price does is pushing up, making good momentum higher, lower high, comes in, SMT with ES, here, drops down, breaks structure on this candle, and then we have a flush all the way in, right? Usually on these positions, I would like to enter on the previous 5 minute low. I'll show you. The previous 5 minute low, which is 5.16, but I entered at 5.26 as I expected the market to just absolutely run lower, and that's what it did. When it had come down to 5.16s, a couple seconds later it was already down at the 500s. So entered at the 5.26 level, stops above the high, a little bit of room as well above the high, and targets will be the New York session low, which is a 2-hour trade right there. Pretty simple trade. Good confluences. Like I said, it was the second FVG lower, but I was expecting price to continue lower for the day. Now, the second position that I did get into, I got into was strictly due to the monthly gap, as we see here. Price came down, broke the 400s like I wanted to, and now it kept on floating around the 300s, around the 350s, right? And I was looking for structure again lower. So we've had this huge push lower, we've come back up, retraced, push lower again, and started making good movement lower. Now, once we've had this push back up and we've come back down now and broken structure again to the lower side, I've decided to test my luck in taking the trade all the way down to the monthly gap. Now, would I have taken this trade if I didn't have an initial first position win? Probably not. But due to me having a win, I was able to put money on this trade, and it actually played out. Took the trade on this candle right here, 336 candle, so 30 minutes before the close, aiming for the monthly session, the monthly FEG, the monthly fair value gap, which I expect the price to come into. Once it got into these 300s, I thought, you know what, there's no way that this market closes today without it coming into the monthly fair value gap, and that's the trade. Stops above the high that it created, which I did give it a lot of room. I was also thinking of making it a bit higher, but I thought, you know what, it's at 330 again. If it doesn't take it now, 330 at the time of being 3:30 p.m. If it doesn't take it now, then it probably won't do it. And so it ran 1.3R, tapped into the monthly gap, came a little bit lower as well. Low of 232 for the day, and then pulled back up. But yeah, that is the two positions today on two prop firms, risking a little bit more than usual, but it's been a good week, and I expected lower draw in the markets, especially when you have weeks like this where it's just been, the whole week has just been bearish. I just expect Friday to be bearish as well and to close off the week bearish. Also, a lot of things due to the fundamental side as well, which have pushed the market down lower, which I'm not going to get into, but yeah. And that is the result, 14.5K. 2 accounts, or 5 accounts, 2 prop firms. And yeah, that is it. If you'd like to know more, free Discord is in the bio, or the private mentorship is also in the bio. Few spots left, and it will be closing soon.